Hi, I am Dr. K. Sai Prasad Reddy. Welcome to the subject software testing. Today we are going to discuss about the interview questions, screening test questions, FAQs, and the ISTQB model questions with respect to verification and validation. See, why I am putting more effort in designing these interview questions means, if you follow these interview questions or the FAQs, you will improve the subject knowledge. You will get more command on the subject, because by looking at different options for each and every question, you are going to judge which option is correct and which option is wrong. That means you are thinking deeply about the subject and that particular topic. If you think deeply about that particular topic, you will get more command on that particular topic. If you get more command on that particular topic, then if they ask any question in the interview, is it maybe in a face-to-face interview or it may be a screening test, you can easily clear that interview. This is the advantage. So I have collected, by putting my effort, I have collected all these questions, and some of the questions I have designed on my own about each and every topic. Right? Now we will discuss the questions about verification and validation. Even if you wanted to clear this ISTQB exam also, this will help you more. If you take any screening test, before taking this, some companies, before conducting face-to-face interview, in order to filter that students, they will conduct the screening test. So, if you follow these sessions, the interview questions or the screening test questions, clearly on each and every topic, I will give you the assurance, then you can easily clear that screening test. Or you can easily clear this ISTQB exam. Right? Now see, we will discuss each and every question on verification and validation topic. Now, see, which of the following statement lists the main advantage of reviews over testing? See, while reading each and every question, you have to follow this technique. You have to identify and you have to capture the key words in that particular question. Right? Here see, the main keyword is advantage of reviews over testing. That's all. So now you have to read each and every option and you have to see which option is correct. No need of specific tools, lower risk verification, better classification of detected defects, low cost of defect detection, enhancement of code and documents quality, identification improvement opportunities. No need to write specific plans for the review. Code reviews can save the white box testing. Clear allocation of roles to review members, confidence that participants are familiar with the subject. So, which statement will cover the advantage of reviews over testing? That is the question. Now see here, the first option is wrong, because no need of specific tools, so lower risk of verification, better classification of detected defects. It's wrong, actually. Lower risk of verification, what it means, right? And next is, no need to write specific plans for the reviews. Code reviews can save the white box testing, because for each and every review, it is a formal review. That means for each and every review, you have to have the plans. There will be some structured team like a manager, mentor, mediator, and the author, and the reviewers, and the scribe, like this, right? So there will be some plans for the reviews, right? The next is clear allocation of roles to review members, confidence that participants are familiar with the subject. So this is not an advantage of review over the testing. And the last is, low cost of defects detection, enhancement of code and documents quality, and identification improvement opportunities. Low cost of defects detection. Why it is called as low cost of defects detection? What do you mean by low cost? Not with respect to commercials money. So low cost means by putting the less effort. That means by putting the less number of man hours and with the less number of resources. That is called low cost. And the enhancement of code. Obviously, enhancement means improvement of code. How the improvement of code will happen? By performing code reviews. During the code reviews, the developers will find the mistakes, and after finding the mistakes, they will correct those mistakes. That means by correcting these mistakes, they are improving the quality of the code as well as the documents. Identification improvement opportunities. So improvement opportunities will be identified, right? This is called the advantage of reviews over testing. Like this, you have to analyze each and every statement and you have to identify. That means if you are analyzing each and every statement, you are judging which option is correct. When it is possible to judge which option is correct, if and only if you are having the subject command on the subject, right? If you are having a command on the subject, you can easily clear that exam and you can easily clear that face-to-face interview also. Next, which one of the following describes the major benefit of the verification early in the life cycle? See, first, early in the life cycle. What is the early in the life cycle? That means which stage is early in the life cycle? Requirements gathering. So you have to recall that point. Major benefit of the verification early in the life cycle. Now see, options. Which option is correct? See, it reduces the defect multiplication. In the earlier session also we have discussed it. What is the early in the life cycle? Which stage is the early stage in the life cycle? Requirements. If you identify the defects in the requirement stage itself, in the first stage itself, easily you can reduce the defect multiplication. What do you mean of the defect multiplication? It's very, very important for the interview purpose. In the interview perspective, it is very important. They may ask you, what do you mean of the defect multiplication? See, in the requirements document, if you find the defects will be stopped there only, because they will remove the defects after identifying the defects. If the defects are not found in the requirements document, and the team members will assume that yes, this requirement is good, but still the defects are present in the requirement document. The same requirement document will be carried forwarded to the next stage, analysis and the designs and the coding. That means even though the defect is present in that particular requirement document, unfortunately, unknowingly, the review members have not identified the defects. The defect is carried forwarded for the next stages. As because of the one defect which is present in that particular requirements document, that defect will get multiplied in the next stages. This is called a defect multiplication. If you perform the verification early in the life cycle, that means if you perform the verification on the requirements document properly, correctly, it will reduce the defect multiplication. As this is important topic and this is important point in the perspective of interview, that's why I am giving this elaborate explanation. Yes. What is the verification process in the software development? Right? See, these are all the different options actually. Yes. The last. The process of evaluating a system or a component to determine whether or not the products of a given development phase satisfies the conditions imposed at the start of that phase. This is the main intention of the verification, because You have to evaluate the system, or you have to evaluate that particular unit or the component to determine for what purpose, to determine whether or not the product is of a given development phase satisfies the conditions imposed at the start of the phase, right? So this is the correct option. So the rest of the options are wrong. You can analyze. Yeah. Verification activities during the design stages are. What are the verification activities during the design phase? That means requirements gathering, analysis, design, the third stage. So what are the verification activities that will be followed during the design phase? Yeah. See which option is correct and which option is wrong. Review and inspections are the verification activities during the design phase. And what about the option B? Inspecting and testing. Testing will not occur in the verification. Review and testing will not occur in the verification. Review, inspection, testing will not occur in the testing will not occur because testing itself by default it will be a dynamic testing. That is validation, not verification. So in verification, what will be there? Reviews, inspections, and walkthroughs. Only these three techniques. So that's why option A is correct one. The next, functional testing is mostly validation, verification, both of the above, none of the above. Functional testing. What do you mean with the functional testing? I have already explained. Functional testing is nothing but testing that particular functionality by giving the inputs and performing the operation on that particular inputs and checking whether the output is correct or not. Here, see, you are giving inputs, you are executing the code and you are getting output. That is called functional testing. See, this process will be involved either in verification or validation. It will be involved in the validation. Because validation means giving the inputs, performing the operation and getting the outputs. After getting the outputs, you have to verify whether that output is correct or not. That is validation. So, this is nothing but validation technique. Which of the following is an example of static testing? See, which one is correct one? Option B is correct one. Because review is an example of the static testing. Walkthrough is an example of the static testing. And inspections are the examples of the static testing. So requirements review, simple question. Yeah. Which typical defects are easier to find using static instead of dynamic testing? See, which typical defects? That means they have given the different types of defects and you have to identify which defects are easier to find during the static testing. Yeah. See, option 1, 2, 3, 4 and here the options with ABCD with the different combinations. See, deviation from the standards. Yes. Requirements defects. Yes. Insufficient maintainability. Yes. Incorrect interface specification. Yes. All these types of defects will be found and easy to find during the static testing. Incorrect interface specification. What it mean? So interface, what it mean? Connecting or communicating between the two components by means of interface, which I have covered in the integration testing. You can check the video of integration testing, the session of integration testing. So that interface is nothing but it's also a small program which will connect two components. Obviously, during the integration testing, as a part of the integration testing, you have to perform the verification in order to find whether the interface is properly written or not. Right? Insufficient maintainability, requirements defects, deviation from standards. So these are all the different defects that will be easy to find during the static testing. Which of the following is a static test? Simple thing. It's a very simple question. So what do you mean by static testing? Inspections, code reviews or reviews, and walkthroughs or code walkthroughs. Yeah. Why should we use static testing techniques? Yes. Very important point and the important interview question. Why should we use static testing techniques? See? Yeah. Static testing costs less. No, we cannot say. We cannot confirm always the static testing cost is less. And the dynamic techniques are very complex to test. No. See, that the complexity level is not the criteria here. And about half of the bugs detectable by dynamic testing can be detected early in the static testing. That is the correct one. Right? This is used. Before going to dynamic testing, so the same half of the bugs which can be detected in the dynamic testing can be detected early in the static testing itself. So that's why we are using static testing technique. Yeah. Verification involves which of the following? See, 1, 2, 3, 4 statements and options, ABCD options are there with the different combination of statements. So 1 is true, 2nd, 3rd and 4th statements are false. Verification involves which of the following? In which criteria this verification follows? Helps to check the quality of the built product. Helps to check that we have built the right product. So we have built the right product means validation. That you have to recall that point. You have to remember that point. Helps in developing the product, monitoring the tool wastage and the obsolescence. So option A, that means statement 1 is true and the rest of are false. Verification can be termed as, are we building the product right? Yeah, so that is the definition, simple. Independent verification and validation is done by the developer, done by the test engineers, done by the management, done by an entity outside the project's sphere of influence. So here, independent testing. What do you mean by the independent testing? See, if you look into the market, IT industry, there are independent testing organizations. They will do only testing services. They will perform only testing activities. So, for example, designing and the development of that particular project will be done by one company. The testing will be done by some other company. Here, the independent testing organization is nothing but the organizations which will provide testing services only to the clients. They will not involve into development and they will not involve into designs of the project. Because without any bias, without any influence, so they will do testing, right? That is independent verification and validation. See, for example, if company A has designed and developed and tested the project, so the same within that company, the same employees of the same company will do the designs. The employees of the same company will do the coding. The employees of the same company will do testing. So there may be some bias actually. There will be some influence on the testing. So in order to avoid that influence, some clients will give their project for independent testing organizations only for testing. Designing and the development of the project will be done by one company. Testing will be done by the independent testing organization. So independent verification and validation. What do you mean by verification and validation? Both verification and validation is nothing but testing. That is independent testing. Yeah. See? Last option is correct one. Verification is, so it is simple. This is a very simple question. So checking that we are building the system right way or not, right? The first statement is validation, right? Fine. Validation involves which of the following? See here. Validation. Validation is nothing but execution. Yeah. So option 2 is true and 1, 3, 4 are false. Option 2, which helps to check that we have built the right product or not. Yeah. So rest of all wrong. Reviews, static analysis and dynamic testing have the same objective. Yeah. So either may be a reviews or it may be a static analysis or it may be dynamic testing. The objective is same. Which is that same objective? Which is the common objective? All will have the common objective. What is that one? Identifying the defects. That is only the common objective. Next. Which of the following statements regarding static testing is false? You have to identify the false statement of static testing. Simple. So, static testing requires the running of the test through the code. Running of the test through the code is nothing but dynamic testing, not static testing. The rest are all true. You have to identify the false statement regarding static testing. Right? Yeah. In which phase static tests are used? That is, in which stage the static testing techniques will be implemented? That is a question. All of the above is correct. Because at each and every stage of software development life cycle, the static testing techniques will be implemented. Not only on the requirements, not only on the design, not only on the code. All the above. Which of the following is not a static testing technique? Yeah. Not a static testing technique. See, simple. Error guessing is not the static testing technique. Because walkthroughs, inspections and analysis, static analysis, data flow analysis means. These are all the static testing techniques. Which is not a static testing technique, error guessing. So error guessing is one type of testing that we will discuss in future sessions. Error guessing. Code walkthrough. Yeah. See. What is a code walkthrough? This is a type of static testing. Code walkthroughs, code reviews, code inspections. This is all static testing. Simple question. This is a very simple question. Sometimes these simple questions will be also asked. That's why I have covered. Which of the following statements about reviews is true? Which statement is true about the reviews? Reviews cannot be performed on user requirement specifications. Reviews are the least effective way of testing code. Reviews are unlikely to find the faults in the test plans. Reviews should be performed on specifications, code and test plans. Which is true. You have to identify. Yeah. So reviews should be performed on the specifications means on the requirements as well as the code and the test plans. Right? So why the first statement is wrong? Why the second one and third one is wrong? Just you have to think. You have to analyze. Then you have to understand. Your reviews cannot be performed on user requirement specification. It's wrong. Because user requirements means client requirements. That is business requirements. Reviews will be performed. Reviews are the least effective way of testing code. No. It is more effective. And reviews are unlikely to find the faults in the test plans. No. So reviews will be also performed on the test plans to find the defects. Yeah. As a moderator in a typical formal review, what can be one of your responsibilities? For example, say you are the moderator in that particular formal review. So which one is your responsibility? That is one. Deciding on the execution of reviews, documenting all the issues and problems, leading the reviews of the documents, identifying and describing the findings. So option C is correct. Because option A, B, D are wrong. Deciding the execution of reviews? No. That is, that will be mentioned in the project plan by the manager. Documenting all the issues and problems? No. So that is a scribe. Identifying and describing the findings? No. That will be by the authors or reviewers. Leading the review of the documents? Yes. There is a moderator. Informal, unstructured reviews of a program source code against the specifications and the standards to find the defects and verify the coding techniques are called. See here, you have to identify the keywords. Though the question is very lengthy, you have to identify the keywords. That's all. So very simple thing is peer review. Informal, that is which is not formal. Inspections will be always formal, right? And see, unstructured review of the program. Here, reviewing of the program, that is code, source code, against the specifications and standards to find the defects and verify the coding techniques are correct. So peer review. Peer reviews are always informal, right? Yeah. Which of the following statement is not true? You have to identify the option which is not true. So simple question. Inspection is appropriate even when there are no written documents. It is not true. It's false actually, right? Because inspections, what can be inspected? Any document, even small piece of paper also can be inspected. If and only if you are having the document, if and only if you are having the written document, then only you can do inspection. Here see, he has given the statement in reverse way. Inspection is appropriate even when there are no written documents. That means even though there are no documents written, you can do inspection. How you can do inspection? So it's wrong. So you have to identify the statement which is not true. Yeah. Could reviews or inspections be considered part of testing? See, very interesting and tricky question. Simple question, the simplest question. Could reviews or inspections be considered part of testing? Yes. See, because the reviews or inspections or walkthroughs are the static testing. Static testing and dynamic testing are the part of testing. So yes, because both help to detect the faults and improve the quality. Right? What is not included in typical costs for an inspection process? Here the cost is nothing but putting the effort by the resources. That is called man hours, right? Time. So, which is not included in typical costs for the inspection process. Which is not included. Writing the documents to be inspected is not included in the cost of the inspection. What is the cost of inspection? That means the resources are the team members who are performing the inspections, either maybe on the code or maybe the document. When this will be inspected? If and only if the document is written and readily available. From there onwards the inspection will start. So, writing the document or designing the document will not come under the cost of the inspection process. Right? So, please subscribe my channel, share my videos to all the student groups, and like my sessions. And please raise your comments in the comment box about my sessions. These are the very important questions. For each and every topic, I will prepare this type of questions for your easy analysis. Right? Thank you.